10 minutes.
So this is the whole kidney, you can see. And you can see the cortex on the outside. You can see the pyramids of the medulla. Okay, renal pyramids or medullary pyramids here, here, and here. Okay. If you took one slice, if you looked at one pyramid like this and magnified it, it would look like this over here. So you can see here's the pyramid, here's the cortex out here. Okay. So we'll get back to that. Okay. So blood flow, so you can start with blood flow. So you can see here's your renal artery. So blood flows through the renal artery to the segmental arteries, which branch into interlobar arteries. So here's like one right here. Here's another right here, which arc around the tops of the pyramids, okay, forming arcuate arteries. So you can see here. And then you can see the cortical radiate arteries coming off of the arcuate arteries, which lead to the afferent arterioles and the glomeruli, which you can't see, but they'd be inside these little capsules here. So if you come to this one, okay, here's the interlobar artery. Okay, here's the arcuate artery, right here. Here's the cortical radiate artery. And here would be an afferent arteriole, okay, leading into a glomerulus, which is the capillary bed right here. Okay. This one, we want to zoom in now on the glomerulus. You can see here. Here's the capillary bed, so here's the glomerulus. Okay, this is the afferent arteriole because it's thicker and larger. So here's your afferent arteriole, here's the glomerulus, and then it's drained by the efferent arteriole. Okay, and you can see the capsule, the glomerular capsule or the Bowman's capsule that surrounds it. So this is the parietal layer out here. Those are the simple squamous epithelial cells. And then the visceral layer are the podocytes that sit on top of the capillaries. So on half you can see they've included them, okay? And the space in between would be the capsular space where that initial filtrate forms. Okay, on this half they haven't included the podocytes because they're trying to let you see the capillaries underneath. Okay, and fluid, okay, urine that starts to form out here would flow into the proximal convoluted tubule. So this would be the beginning of the proximal convoluted tubule. You can see those tubular epithelial cells on either side. Okay, so if you come back to this one, okay, you can see here's your glomerulus. It's surrounded by the Bowman's capsule or the glomerular capsule. Okay, the initial filtrate that forms in here flows into the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, so all of that. And then into the nephron loop or the loop of Henle. So this would be the descending limb, and this would be the ascending limb. Okay, and then it leads into the distal convoluted tubule, all of this right here, which empties into the collecting duct right here. And many nephrons, so the nephron would include the renal corpuscle right here, which includes the capsule and the glomerulus, and also the whole renal tubule. So proximal convoluted tubule, nephron loop, and distal convoluted tubule. Okay, so starting here and ending here is one nephron. And you can see here's another nephron over here, and they empty into the same collecting duct. So many nephrons would empty into the collecting duct. Okay, and then the urine travels down, or the filtrate, it travels down the collecting duct, okay, through the medullary pyramid, through the point or the papilla of the pyramid, and it empties into the space below, which is going to be the minor calyx. Okay, so if you come to this one, okay, you can see right here what we were just talking about. Here's the collecting duct, and it goes through the apex, the papilla of the pyramid right here, and into the minor calyx right here. And you can see here's a minor calyx, here's a minor calyx, here's a minor calyx. Okay, they're all going to come together to form major calyces. Okay, the easiest is right here. You can see minor calyx, minor calyx. This would be a major calyx right here. Okay, and then the major calyces from here and here come together to this funnel-shaped region called the renal pelvis. Okay, it's number 4 on here. This would be the renal pelvis. Okay, and then all the urine flows through that funnel out into the tube, which is the ureter right here, that would travel it, carry it all the way down to the bladder. Okay, we still have a few more things to do. So that was the flow of urine. We did the blood flow in. Okay, remember, come back over here.
I have 5 minutes.
It's okay. It's a big one.
Okay.
So after blood flows through the afferent arteriole into the glomerulus, it flows out into the efferent arteriole. Okay, and right here, I think, does this one show it? Sort of. Not really. But basically it flows into the peritubular capillaries that would be all along the renal tubule. And eventually blood is going to flow back into the cortical radiate veins. So you can see one right here, cortical radiate vein, which empties into an arcuate vein. Okay. You come over here, here are cortical radiate veins. Peritubular capillaries empty into these cortical radiate veins, which empty into the arcuate veins, which empty into the interlobar veins, which all come down and empty into the renal vein, which would carry blood back to the inferior vena cava, and then it would go back to the heart. Okay. I think that's everything.